Hi, how's everyone doing? It's Mix here from Tortuga PH. If you like tattoo content or tattoos in general, this channel might be the one for you. So hit that subscribe button, check out the videos. They're all good, they're all well made. Alright, so on to today's video. Today's video we're going to be talking about the difference between a cheap cartridge and an expensive cartridge. Now, what kind of cartridge? Of course, tattoo cartridges for pen type machines. Now, I'm going to show you, well, to represent the cheap stuff, yellow Dragonfly. Now, yellow Dragonfly can be purchased from Shopee or Lazada. You just search that. If you're in the Philippines, you can get it. Or if you're in an Asian country, you can actually buy it too, because they have that there. And if you're in America, I'm not sure, but there is another name for this on Amazon. But if you find something that looks like this, then that is a China-made tattoo cartridge. And let me say, they're pretty nice. They're good. They're actually very good. Now, difference between an expensive one and a cheap one, it goes with the build quality. Alright, so to represent the expensive one, we'll be showing you the WJX. Now, WJX, or it's an Acme cartridge, so it's pretty funny because you know, Acme is like the company in the Roadrunner, which like does like faulty stuff. But no, this is the good stuff, my boys. This is the WJX. It is the premium of tattoo cartridges, I think. I'll show you the difference in build quality really fast. There you go. And here is the WJX. Alright, so you can't really tell because they're still sealed, and I don't want to waste it because once you open it, it's gone forever, right? So the difference is the the Dragonfly, which is 280 pesos or 310 pesos depending on what kind of needle you buy. If it's a liner, a shader, a mag, a round mag, it all depends, but the range is 280 to 310 for a box of 20 of the same kind, which is a steal, guys. That is pretty damn cheap for a cartridge needle. Now, if you want the expensive one, the WJX, well, they range from 680 to 720 or sometimes 750 depending on where you buy it. But they are hard to find. But let me tell you, these WJX needles are worth it. Alright, first up, the Dragonfly. Now the Dragonfly, the problem with it is, at least with the liner, when you dip it in ink and you start to draw your line, or make your line, you're gonna have a sudden puddle of ink on your stencil or on your design when you do your first pull. Now the problem, it's like lining with a regular coiled machine and a traditional needle. You know how like when you dip it the first time and then you put it on skin, there's like a droplet of ink that pops out and you line with it and it like splatters everywhere. Yeah, it does that with this as well. So normally what I do with my coils, I dip it in ink and then I dab it onto some tissue while it's running to get that initial first ink splatter out of the way, or ink droplet out of the way, and then do my line. Now if you do that with this ink cartridge though, what I noticed was if you put it on tissue paper, a lot of the ink inside of the cartridge or the tip will be gone. So you can't, you have to go directly onto the skin. And it's okay, it does the job, but it's a little bit messy and it's hard to see sometimes. And if you're afraid of losing your stencil from wiping, like you have a weak stencil sauce or something, you're gonna have that hassle when you're gonna be using this. But it performs really well. You just have to dip it in the ink more, and it's a sharp needle, so it's still good quality. It's just that the housing or the tip part is a little bit big for the needle, is what I noticed when lining. This is actually a 5RL. Now, the same needle, but WJX, it has a design that looks like a pen. Like the tip has a smaller, it like narrows down towards the tip. like you know how like you're in traffic or you're on a highway and then it does like a merging lane. It kind of does that, and what it does is it catches the ink so that it doesn't spill out of the tip. It only gives that amount that it needs to make a nice line for a 5RL needle. So it is actually engineered to work like a ball pen that puts in the right amount of ink per line, which is really amazing if you think about it in that sort of mindset. Now, they are very expensive and they do line really well. It's like lining with a ball pen and it's fun to use actually. So if you can afford it, go with the WJX. Like if your client or your customer is paying you the right amount of money for the job being done, go ahead and give them a great tattoo using the WJX. Now, if you have a client that bargained the fuck out of you and yeah, wanted a deal, then just use this one to compensate for the loss of income. It's not bad, guys. I mean, don't get me wrong. You're not giving them a bad tattoo if you're gonna use this. You'll still be doing a great tattoo. You'll just have to live with the difficulty of wiping a lot and seeing that initial ink splatter. But based on the price of value, this is really good. And I highly suggest if you're I don't want to call you a budget artist, but if you're trying to cut costs based on what you're being paid, you might as well use one of these rather than using one of these. You'll earn a lot more and you'll save a lot more and you'll have a lot more stocks. And if you have like those little tattoos that aren't really like, you're not doing like a half sleeve, just use this one. It's the same, like your stencil will not disappear, right? Just like tap it a little bit. Alright guys, so if you like this video, don't forget to hit that like, comment below, subscribe, hit that bell. 90% of you guys aren't subscribed to me, but a lot of people are watching. Thank you for watching. Do subscribe. Now, I didn't talk about the shaders because I haven't used the shaders of the Dragonfly yet. But in the next video, we'll talk about the differences between the cheap and expensive cartridge using shading. Alright? See you all in the next video. Later.